All right, guys, here's what we got today. Oh shoot, pick six. I just finally decided to get off my rear end and order some spanner wrenches. So I have some spanner wrenches, some BMW wrenches. Here's an example, of what a traditional, this is from BC Sports and from a suspension I've had in the past. But spanner wrench is a hook style spanner wrench. So, and I'm going to show you on the suspension for the GT3 on how to lower it. But any sort of threaded coilover system where the spring perch slides up and down the body of the shock, we'll use this sort of hook style, and these are adjustable hook style spanner wrench. And the ones that I have, obviously these aren't adjustable. They fit or they don't fit. So I ordered these. They're not cheap. They do look cheap, but they're not cheap, from Williams. The Snap-on ones are about twice the cost of these, but I want to say these are like 180 bucks or 200 bucks for a set of 4. So hopefully we have the right size. I'm going to take because the rear wheel is a lot easier to take off, I'm going to take the rear wheel off on the GT3, and hopefully between all the combination of tools that we have, hopefully we'll be able to do it pretty easily. But I am going to lower the GT3, and I know for some of you say, well, why would you do that? The car's already low. Well, I don't like slammed cars, but there is a measurable wheel gap in the car, or on the car, between the wheel well and the wheel and the tire. So I'm gonna adjust the suspension a bit. I only have a quarter to maybe half an inch. I think it's a quarter inch of play. So there's only a few threads left on the factory coilover in order to lower the car. So I'm gonna lower it today, show you how that works, show you how I know I've taken center locks off before, but I'm gonna take it off again and show you that process. You can watch me struggle with the 440 pounds of foot-pounds of pressure that you need to get these things off. And before anybody makes comments, Porsche does recommend that you break the nut free off the ground. So I just follow that. It's really not that hard to just put it on the jack, and worst case scenario, if knock it off the jack, the car's going to fall a few inches onto the tire, so not a big deal. So I'll do that today. So there is a method, there is a reason why. I'm sure because of the way that the threads sit on the hub or something, but Porsche does recommend that you have the weight off of the wheel even when breaking the nut free. So I'm going to get to use my 5 figures worth of tools, darn expensive wrench, in order to get the wheels off. I'm glad I have it, but it is expensive, all the different tools you need just to take the wheel off. So I'm going to take you through that process today, and we'll see how it goes, see what the car looks like. All right, let me get the car up in the air. A little Delron jack pad. Kind of twist and snap in place. I should still have enough clearance to get the car off the jack. I guess we'll see. So, jack the thing up. I got to open up the. That's about all I need. I don't even really need that much room, but. Let me pull the e-brake. I should have done that first. Can't reach it. All right. So here, you get this big old thing out. Clockwise, counterclockwise. We're going counterclockwise. Lock, button, I'll show on this side. I think, actually, yeah, that's for the torque piece section. Yeah, I gotta put this on instead. Only used this a couple of times. So here's the, if you guys haven't seen me do this before, this is the, whatever you call that thing, ratchet, nut, socket. Shit. Pull this off first, without jacking it up. Really it only fits in one spot, but I'm not getting behind it very well. There we go. Okay, let me zoom in here so you can see what I'm doing. Come in from this angle so you can see without the sun. And a little ISO. Okay. Push this. Release this. Okay. So, got the cover off. That we'll need when we put it back on. Goes this way. Righty tighty, lefty loosey, right? There we go. Okay, it's locked on. And then pull. Lots of pulling. And we got it. So see, it's not that bad. You know, I was always told how rough it was, how hard it would be to get the center locks undone. Well, I haven't really had any problems. Come up pretty easily for me. It's be a good opportunity to check the tires since I'm taking them off. The next GT3 trip is in a couple months. Everything looks good. No uneven wear. I'll put another layer of grease on this. And then here's my Delron wheel guide. Threads in nicely. Just to make sure you don't drop the wheel on the rotor. Crack that rotor. It's pretty expensive to get a new one. Actually, really expensive to get a new one. Always amazes me how light the combo of the wheels and tires are on this. Tires look decent. And they're starting to wear down, but not bad. Okay. So here's the rear rotor, 390 millimeters. So what is that? Just under 16 inches, 15 and 3/4, something like that. You could do the math for me. Is it 39 divided by 2.54? So it's gonna be hard for you to see in here. Let me get the flashlight. I can get some light in here so you can see what has to be done. If you've never messed with coilovers before, it's really pretty simple. So you could see the threaded body there. So here are the threads. And then I'm going to be able to lower there's a helper spring, regular spring. So we'll be able to lower quite a bit. It looks like maybe the threads, I mean, we should be able to bring it all the way down. See how much that equates to. So what I'm going to do is I don't have the right spanner wrenches to hook this. So we're going to test out these new wrenches and see if we can't get it to work. I'm sure we can. I love these brakes. I mean, look at this. I drove yesterday. There's not a speck of dirt on them. Drove, I don't know, 100 miles, something like that. They look super clean. All right, well, let's start messing with this and we'll see how it looks. Seems like I got a lot more play than a 1/2 inch. So let's start turning on it and see where it goes. All right, I'll try to, we'll work on getting a little bit different angle. I just want to see. Oh, I'm gonna need to get in here first and then maybe I can bring you guys in to show you what the heck I'm doing. Let's see, try this medium one. So now, basically what we need to do, there we go. Okay, that definitely fits there. So now I need to break these two things loose. So then I can just, it's almost like sort of like a locking nut, where you have to twist them opposite directions so you can spread them apart. Then once that happens, then I can move just have to figure out which way it goes. This is one of those things that just innately is not built into my my DNA, is figuring out which way to turn things. I just start turning and see if I can't figure it out. There we go. It's not that hard. Let's see how low this sucker will go. guess I don't need this big one. Maybe the front that limits how low we can go. The rear seems to have a ton of play. Spanner wrenches are the most annoying thing in the world. They just don't work like you want them to. I have a feeling this is going to go a lot lower than I want it to. But let's just see. Shoot. Not even halfway there. I'm most likely going to be getting a new exhaust. Again, headers, long tube headers, side muffler delete, back with the center muffler again. There's a guy named Charles Dundon who's been doing tons and tons of research. And supposedly the combination of long tube headers, cat delete, and just the general sort of combination of the three, larger the side deletes, deletion of the side mufflers. He's netting 40 horsepower, 40 peak horsepower gains, and pretty significant peak power gains throughout the entire rev range. No loss in power, gain of about 30 foot-pounds of torque. It almost seems too hard to believe, but this guy's legit from everything I've been reading. So, just might be doing that. Now, his solution has valves, because remember, when I had the FPD side muffler deletes on, one of the problems just was the resonance. It was just too much. But his valves, he swears that there's not a lot of transition. You really don't notice, it's seamless. So the valve transition is much different than the exhaust sounds like. So I'm excited about that. I think he's created the solution of really what I've been looking for. Drop the side mufflers. Still maintain that aggressive note. Not have major valve opening and closing intrusion on my life as I'm driving around town. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be super low. It must be the front that doesn't allow as much play. Everything I read says you have about a 1/4 inch room to mess with, room to work with. 1/4 inch of additional lowering capability. And again, I'm just turning this one tiny little turn at a time, so it's not like I'm not quite as aggressive as this may seem. I just want to see from my own reference how low it'll go, and then I'll jack the thing back up, set it where I want. It's not that hard. Now that I know how to break this thing loose. So I mean, I can't even imagine 40 more horsepower in this thing at 3,100, 3,200 pounds. It's gonna be incredible. I mean, that's bus lengths of distance in a 1/4 or 1/2 mile. Shoot, even if it's 10 horsepower, and that's without an ECU tune. He's working on a tune. He thinks he can get another 10 or 15 horsepower. So imagine you're at 450 at the wheels. The exhaust gets us in the 430 range. I mean, that's incredible. This car's going to be super fast. I almost don't want to. If I get that, I almost don't want to publish anything until after the Smokies event. We do some of the cool stuff we're gonna do. The car will be a lot faster. Be up there with the RSs, faster than them. Come on. So now the helper spring is spread out a lot more. Almost there. I'll be on the front, so I'll have a little more room to work with so I can show you what the heck I'm doing here. Almost there. I have a feeling this is going to be on the ground. We shall see. A little bit more so I can get the torque the bottom one down so it stays tight. There we go. All right, let's stick the wheel on and see if this thing's dumped, which I do not want. I just want to eliminate a little bit of the wheel gap. Should probably put the optimally grease on here now, just in case it is at a decent height, but there's plenty on there. It's not gonna hurt anything. See what this looks like. Oh yeah. I guess it takes that much play. So I was at 27 3/16. Now granted, yeah, we're not sitting on the jack. Yeah, so now we're at 26 15/16. So what is that, 1/4 of an inch? Perfect. So let me jack this thing back up. Put the wheel back on properly. Make sure I hit the right spot. Yep. All right. So now we're lower to almost exactly 1/4 of an inch. Let me get my grease. Just take this back off. I already tightened it too much. I think before the Smoky Mountain trip, I'm gonna have to order new tires. The problem is these sport cups are impossible to get a hold of. Should probably use gloves for this, but just want to get a nice, even coat. You don't want to cake it on there because then it'll splatter out. You put some on the threads too. There we go. Just wipe around the perimeter here. Shoot. Get this stuff on the wheels. It gets everywhere. Gotta make sure that the little rubber grommet seats properly. You don't want to get trapped. Okay. And then after I drive around for a few days, then I'll go get an alignment done. I might even just wait till I get new tires. All right, so set this to 440 foot-pounds. Ah, that was my finger. 440. It's the part that always is tricky for me. Like, which way does this thing go? I think this is right. Torque that way. All right. So now we pull it off. We put the breaker bar back on. Back it off about 90 degrees, and then we re-torque it. All right. Put the torque wrench back on. This time we'll do it the smart way. There's 440, done. All right. Make sure that the locking mechanism is in, and then the GT3 goes back in place. One side, done. So, you know, we're lower, 1/4 of an inch. Not anything drastic, but it makes a little difference. So I'll have pictures. I'll take some pictures of this so you'll be able to see the difference. We need to apply the parking brake, or not the parking brake, but the actual brake. So I've got a Irwin quick grip. What we do is take this thing and we turn it around. Let's see if I can't remember how to do that. Oh yeah. We take this part and turn it around. If can remember how to do it. Oh yeah, that's right. You can't, it doesn't torque down. Let me see here. I remember how I did this. I thought we had to turn the whole thing around. Yeah, one part goes on the seat. Like this. There we go. You guys are yelling at me on the screen probably, saying, hey, stupid. Turn this thing right side up. Then we'll just clamp it. Actually, let me put this thing a little lower on the seat. All right, brakes depressed. It's got the clamp in here. I don't know if you can see that. The clamp is in like so. I'll give you some ISO so you can see what the heck I'm talking about here. See, clamp's pressing on the brake because I'm here by myself. Let's jack it up. Have to get my jack pad. This is a little bit trickier. Shoot. Just gonna jack it up from the rear. It's too low in the front. The other thing that I contend with is the wheel turning. Okay, let's pull this off. Hopefully the front's easier to reach. I think it is than the rear, so it won't take as long. My problem with, let me get another jack. So otherwise this thing's gonna teeter-totter. Shoot. Bent that plastic a little bit. There we go. It's righty tighty, lefty loosey this thing. This is the tricky part. I forget how I did this before. You gotta press down. It's kind of hard to develop leverage though this way. Okay. Looks good. Let's get you here a little closer. Driving up and down the road. Okay, this is gonna be a little bright, but it's the only way I can get the shadows out of the view. So, let's see if I can't do this right the first time. I'd already forgotten which way it's supposed to go. No helper spring up front. I guess there's hardly any weight back here, so, or up here. I doubt I'm going to affect the toe very much. Lowering this as little as I am. So I might just wait on an alignment until I get new tires. These two are supposed to, I don't really care, as long as it's turning. But these two, well, you know, they torque down on each other, so I'll tighten them up here in a minute once I get it down to the bottom. So the difference, the difference in the thread, there's a whole lot less lowering ability up here than there was back there, but, or at least, I guess probably because of the helper spring, that at every increment of lowering, you need to actually have more threading or more shock body available. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just making this crap up. All right. Wish I did this a long time ago. It's so easy to do. I just didn't have the tools to do it. That'll be it near the end. Yeah, have to come up a little bit. Let's give it a little bit more play. Kind of weird. You normally run out of real estate. But this looks like it'll allow me to actually fall off the bottom. So that's it. So now these two are tight. Not going anywhere. Put the wheel back on. These brakes are so awesome. Look at that. 16.14 inches, something like that. Same size as my wheels on my Civic and my S2000. That's the wheel. Anyway, let's put the wheel back on. So, see, once you get the hang of this, it doesn't take long. Luckily, I don't really need to. Come on. I don't need to take the thing off, put it back on a dozen times like I've had to do with other cars. Where's my grease? So now once I've gotten the thing figured out, it'll probably take me another hour to finish. Be careful with, in case there is something that's cross-threaded, you'll shred your fingers. Nice even layer. I mean, there's a certain spec on how thick this is supposed to be, but I'm just guessing. I don't have a micrometer with me. There's crap all over my fingers. Okay. Get all this stuff out of the way. Let's torque this down. Okay. Now we back it off a quarter turn. You know, I can probably just do that with this. Okay. And do it again. There we go. See how low it looks. Turn off the moly grease everywhere. Get this one out first. This one out second. Let's do one of these. Oh yeah, it's perfect. Just a tiny bit lower. Not much of a difference you guys can see, but I think it looks better like that. Cool. All right, we'll work on the other side now. Okay. Too lazy to move the car. I got plenty of room here, so I can do this one without messing it up. It's hard to get behind this thing. Shoot. this one up good. I think I need an actual screwdriver. Well, I'll have to magic marker this puppy. It's scratched up pretty good. Okay. Get the fitter. All right, let's break this loose. Looks like I'm gonna have to put the breaker bar on. I could swing it. Can't. Might help if I turn it the right way too. All right. There's that. Sit back down. I love doing this kind of stuff. The weird thing about this is that this has literally been on my mind for who knows how long, a year, maybe longer. Constantly thinking about it. And it's so easy, you just need to get it done. It looks good. Where's my Delron thing rolled over here? Now granted, I didn't have the tools to do it, but still, it's no excuse. I don't need to go far. This thing, because it's going to go right back on. Okay. You think I would have figured out which way this thing needs to go by now? So, I haven't been making a whole heck of a lot of videos lately. You can look me up now. You know, I've been talking about this whole idea of integrating Obsessed Garage and then my wealth management practice, serving car guys or providing car specific guys financial advice. And so I've been working on that quite a bit. I actually left my company and I've gone to a new company, Raymond James, that's going to allow me to do, I don't know if you guys noticed, but sometimes I'd put a video up and then I'd have to take it down because I didn't like what I said. So I have a vision for what my life is going to look like, or what I want it to look like. So right now I'm going through the nightmare of rebuilding, retooling my business, calling my clients, begging them to come with me to my new firm, so that way I can rebuild this business that I want, that I dream of having. So, and my partners have various reasons. So I think I'm always going to specialize in retirement just because of where I live. But what I'd like to do is gradually work toward a car guy specific business, and then it'll be different stages in life. So you'll have guys that are sunsetting, that are still car guys that are already retired, guys that just want to close out their life without getting killed, and with their investments of their financial plan. And then there are guys like maybe not quite like me, but maybe a few years older that have amassed a decent nest egg. They own a business, they're an executive somewhere. I found that I tend to do really well with guys who would normally manage their own money. So anyway, stay tuned. I don't want to be sales pitching myself. That's not my goal at all. I just want people to know, who I am and what I do. In case they cared to know. And my former company wouldn't allow me to do that. So I'm gonna be doing a lot more videos. At some point, I'm gonna hire a staff to help me, edit videos. A lot of people have requested that I'd make shorter versions, or like for instance, this video is probably gonna be an hour plus long. A lot of people have requested I make give me the cliff notes, man. You're just too much information, and I understand that. So I think what I'm gonna do is, my goal would be to, every video I do, have two versions of it. The full version for the nerds like me and you, and then the abbreviated version for we'll call them the regular people of the world, the people that don't care to know everything. Or maybe it's just a topic that you'd like to kind of check out, but don't, you're not going to be lowering your GT3, although lowering a car is pretty much the same on all platforms that have coilovers. You gotta turn this thing by hand. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be working on after I get the business rebuilt at the new place. I've got a lot of cool ideas. Well, I think they're cool. We'll find out if anybody else thinks they're cool ideas. So we'll stay tuned on all that. But just bear with me for a little while. I've got a lot of work to do to get back to a point to where clients are taken care of, business is fully functional and operating the way it's supposed to be. Obviously, the market's in turmoil, so that doesn't help things. And then I took a business course not too long ago that changed my life. Basic premise was, we're just making this life up anyway, so do whatever the heck you want to do. Why can't I make up something that doesn't exist? At least doesn't exist to me. So I'm going to do it. Whether people like it or not, I'm going to try. What do I do with my off the molly. Thought I brought it over here. Anyway, so some of you guys think I'm a douche. Sorry about that. Not much I can do. Just being me. Ugh. Take this off. See, I told you it'd be a lot quicker. Second try. Let's put some grease on this. There's a little bit of rust on here, the inside of it. So let's put some more grease on that. I'll help that out. So, obviously, I haven't been able to talk about what the heck I've been up to, but I've been throwing a few videos up here and there, but I've been rather preoccupied. You know, people are always wondering how I have the time to do all this stuff. My argument is I'm the super efficient dude, to the point of crippling. I have to get things done or I can't move on with my life. You know, it's the same thing with my business. Can't just wing it. I gotta do it right. Now, everybody's definition of right is different. But I've been hyper focused on that. And I've always told you guys I can't do things sort of halfway. I can't take on too much. So otherwise I get nutty. So playing with cars and then my normal everyday family life and then, you know, my career or business or whatever you want to call it is about all I can handle. So when one gets a little out of control, I have to bring myself back into reality, get myself back in check. All right, so let's see here. So let's go clockwise. Supposed to pull, but all right, let's back it off. Quarter turn. Yeah. Thing's no joke. Sure it's on 440 yet. Double check it. Good. Knock out the other side, and we're done. A little black marker on there. You wouldn't be able to tell that I messed it up a little bit. Okay. There we go. Not that hard. Just don't like that little tool. Doesn't really work so well. Shoot, this thing's heavy. All the tools. Still digging this floor, man. All the dirt underneath it. Jack stuff up, don't worry about cracking it. It's awesome. Can't wait to build my new garage. I was out at the property. We just haven't had any takers on our house. We almost had it sold, and then the people were between two different homes, and they bought the other one. Figures. Again, this isn't a particularly affluent area. And I knew when we bought this house that it wouldn't be super easy to sell. Oops. Just broke the cap on that. Probably get off my rear end instead of being lazy here. All right. So which way did I turn this thing? This is a pain in the butt. Got it. Now we just gotta wiggle this little thing. They quit hitting the carbon ceramics before I chip them. Pay more attention, Maddie. All right, let's see. How can we do this more efficiently? Yeah, this is gonna take a while. Just gonna break some knuckles. So I was out at the new house. Again, we don't own the house yet. We're just under contract, and so I knew they told me they were going to be on vacation for a week or out of town for a week. So it was cool to go over and measure stuff. So I think I've got it figured out where I'm going to put it, and I've redesigned it on my home designer software. So I got some different ideas of what I'm going to do. I think I've decided sort of the washing area. This is the part that's sort of tricky. I've got the pole barn. I'm not going to use the pole barn. Pole barn's just going to stay. I'm going to use that for whatever, storing ATVs and other crap. So the pole barn I'm not going to mess with. But, I thought about still turning the pole barn into the washing area. It would certainly make it less expensive to build the bulk of the garage. But if I do a washing area outside of the garage, I did decide that it needs to be in the center. So it can't be off to the side. Because, washing and detailing is sort of the focus of what I do. So I would want the lift in the center. There'd be a big door on the washing area. I'll do a video at some point and show you what I'm thinking. You guys have given me great ideas or set me straight on a lot of different things. So, at some point here in the not too distant future, I'll make another video. So we're under contract for these two houses, my house being sold and buying their house by March 31st. So hopefully we'll get some action now that we're out of the holiday season. This is annoying. Wearing my shoulder out. Yeah, I got a long way to go. Lots of turns to go. One advantage of this being as low as it goes is I don't have to play with it. I just do it. It fits. And I don't have to like set the height, measure it, come back, set it again, measure it. I can just simply put it on here. I got to do some videos of the new wheels. M3 version 2.0. You know, I thought about it. You know, I really want an E92 M3. It's just not the right time. I don't have a place to put it. I won't have a garage for a while. Despite the fact that I really want one, I just don't have time to be playing. I already don't have time to be playing with 2 cars, let alone 3. And so I'm going to do the responsible thing and just relax, wait. So my excuse is I'm going to hold myself over. I'm going to make version 2.0 of my F80 M3. Again, this GT3 is pretty much done. I mean, I might mess with that exhaust, but there really isn't much to do to this thing. I mean, these are the last modifications. And the car's already so great. But the M3, putting the wheels on, the wider rear end, the wider rear track on with the 305s, and then the bigger offsets, and the handling, the car feels so much more planted. So I do hit a little bit at like 3/4, almost a full lock. And I had to put some spacers on just to create a little clearance for the spring, because the KW springs are progressive, so they get fatter toward the bottom, so the spring is hitting the inside of the wheel at full lock, or without the spacers. So I've decided to go all out and I'm going to do a JRZ suspension, JRG RS2 Sport, camber plates, the whole thing. I just hope it's not too noisy with the camber plates. There's that leaf in there? Yeah. And do dine-in sway bars, dine-in rear toe and rear control arm upgrades. And I'll probably do the dine-in front tension arm upgrade to a from a rubber bushing to a whatever the heck they use, a steel or polyurethane bushing or something like that. I'll probably have the car corner, lined and corner weighted, quarter balanced, whatever you want to call it. Come on. It's kind of in a weird spot. And then I'm going to do down pipes, and then a flash tune, either active or ESS. Getting close, we're about halfway there. Told you this was going to be annoying. Gosh. Pretty cool. The springs say Bilstein on them. Dang it! There's not a lot of room between the upper control arm and the rear toe arm. It's just...
All right, we're a little bit further than halfway there. Come on. Getting close. Be nice to get rid of these giant side mufflers. Now we're moving. Shoot. I'm probably gonna have to do. So this is an easy enough project. I mean, an hour and 45 minutes. If I did it again, it would take a lot less time. But for minor improvement, I think it was worth the $100 it cost, $180 it cost for the new tools to make it happen. Now I'll have those tools forever. Let's just tighten this up. Some of you guys probably already think the car's plenty low enough, but I just don't like wheel gaps. I also don't like the sunk look, so this is a nice happy medium. There we go. Quarter turn. Back up. Yes, sir. That's cool, buddy. You're crazy. What is that? You like this big wrench? You want to use this someday? You want to feel how heavy this thing is?
Yeah.
Careful. Careful. All right, let's put it down. All right, guys. Try to get this video up today. Stay tuned for more of my crazy ideas. I have a feeling it's going to get crazier. So, leave comments, send me emails, tell me I'm stupid, tell me I'm great, whatever you want to do. Let's do it. Uh-oh. Let me get this out of here. Probably gonna have to jack this up to get it out. Might be a little low now to get this thing out of here. What? Careful.
Got the jack stuck. There we go. Anyway, easy enough project. Car looks good. Let's look at it from this angle. You know, on camera it's probably hard to see, but there is a difference. 1/4 of an inch, that's all I wanted.
Mama, how long do you think this is? 20 feet. Does this ever stop? Does this thing ever stop?
I think it does. So, there you go. Lower GT3. Doing more blaspheming here. Thanks for watching, guys. Careful, bro.